Yehovah, Elohim, Svaot, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me, and cover me and stir me, and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Han, behold, now, behold. Yirmiyahu, chapter 44. This word came to Yirmiyahu concerning all the people from Yehuda living in the land of Egypt, in Migdol, Takpinkas, Noph, in the land of Patros. Here is what Yehovah Svaot, the Elohim of Israel, says. You have seen all the disaster I inflicted on Jerusalem and all the cities of Yehuda. There they are today, ruined, and no one living in them. It came about because of the wicked things they did to make me angry, sacrificing to and serving other gods, whom they did not know, neither they, nor you, nor your ancestors. I had sent you all my servants, the prophets, sent them frequently with this message. Don't do this horrible thing which I hate. But they neither listened nor obeyed, so as to turn from their wickedness and stop offering to other gods. Hence my fury and anger were poured out and ignited in the cities of Yehuda, in the streets of Jerusalem, so they became waste and desolate as they are today. Therefore now Yehovah Svaot, the Elohim of Israel, says this: Why are you committing this great sin against yourselves? The result can only be to cut you off from Yehuda, men, women, children, and babies, so that none of you remain. For you continue provoking me with the products of your own hands, offering to other gods in the land of Egypt, where you have gone to live as aliens. It would lead only to your destruction and becoming an object of curses and reproaches among all the nations of the earth. Have you forgotten the wicked deeds of your ancestors and the wicked deeds of the kings of Yehuda, the wicked deeds of their wives, their own wicked deeds, and the wicked deeds of your wives, which they committed in the land of Yehuda in the streets of Jerusalem? To this day they remain unhumbled. They have not been afraid and have not lived according to my Torah and my regulations, which I presented to you and your ancestors. Therefore, here is what Yehovah Svaot, the Elohim of Israel, says. I will decree disaster for you and destroy all of Yehuda. I will take the remnant of Yehuda, who determined to go to Egypt and live there as aliens, and they will all perish in the land of Egypt. They will fall and perish by the sword and famine. They will die from the least to the greatest, by the sword and famine, and they will become an object of condemnation, astonishment, cursing, and reproach. Yes, I will punish those living in the land of Egypt, as I punished Jerusalem by sword, famine, and plague, so that none of the remnant of Yehuda who went into the land of Egypt to live as aliens will escape or remain, to be able to return to the land of Yehuda. They long to return and live there, but none will return except a few refugees. Then all the men who knew that their wives were offering incense to other gods, along with all the other women standing by, a huge crowd, all the people living in Patros in the land of Egypt, answered Yirmiyahu. As for the word you have just spoken to us in the name of Yehovah, we will not listen to you. Instead, we will certainly continue to fulfill every word our mouths have spoken. We will offer incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour out our drink offerings to her as we have done, we and our ancestors, our kings and our leaders. Cities of Yehuda, in the streets of Jerusalem. For then we had plenty of food. Everything was fine. We didn't experience anything unpleasant, but since we stopped offering to the Queen of Heaven, pouring out drink offerings to her, we have lacked everything, and we have been destroyed by sword and famine." Then the wives added, "Are we the ones who offer incense to the Queen of Heaven? Do we pour out drink offerings to her? And did we make cakes marked with her image for her and pour out drink offerings to her without our husband's consent?" Then Yehu said to all the people, to the men, the women, and all the people who had answered him back, "The incense you offered in the cities of Yehuda, in the streets of Jerusalem, you, your ancestors, your kings, your leaders, and the people of the land, Yehovah kept remembering and taking note of this insult until Yehovah could no longer bear it. So evil and so detestable were your deeds. That is why your land has become a wasteland, an object for astonishment and cursing, uninhabited as it is today. It is because you offered incense, sinned against Yehovah, didn't listen to what Yehovah said, and didn't live by his Torah, regulations, and instructions, that this disaster has befallen you as it is today." In addition, Yehu said to all the people, but especially the women, "Hear the word of Yehovah, all Yehuda who are in the land of Egypt. This is what Yehovah Svaot, the Elohim of Israel, says. You and your wives stated your intentions and with your mouths and performed them with your hands. You said, 'We will certainly fulfill our vows that we made to offer incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour out drink offerings to her without doubt. You will indeed fulfill every point of your vows. Therefore, hear the word of Yehovah, all Yehuda living in the land of Egypt. I swear by my own great name, says Yehovah, that no man of Yehuda will speak my name again in the land of Egypt, swearing, as Yehovah Elohim lives, I am watching over them for harm, not for good. All the men of Yehuda in the land of Egypt will be destroyed by sword and famine, until none of them is left. Those who escape the sword will return from the land of Egypt to the land of Yehuda, few in number. And all the remnant of Yehuda who went into the land of Egypt to live will know whose word will stand, mine or yours. Moreover, here is a sign for you, says Yehovah, that I will punish you in this place, so that you can know that my threats of disaster against you will come true. Yehovah says, I will hand over Pharaoh, Hophri, king of Egypt, to his enemies, to those seeking his life, just as I handed Zedekiah, king of Judah, over to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babel, his enemy, who sought his life. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this interesting 44th chapter? Yehu. We can listen to the written words of Yehovah. Aim to do righteous things. Aim to make Yehovah pleased with your actions. Aim to be a living sacrifice to Yehovah. Serve Yehovah only and wholeheartedly. Know Yehovah. Do what Yehovah loves. Listen and obey the written Torah of Yehovah. Turn to Yehovah and a life of righteousness. Aim for blessings to be poured over your life. Proclaim the written words of Yehovah. Aim to cling to Yehovah with your obedience to his written word. Aim to live long and be fruitful and multiply. Aim to please Yehovah with your obedience to his written Torah. Aim to do righteous deeds pleasing to Yehovah. Humble yourself and live according to Yah's Torah, in Yah's regulations presented in Torah. Seek Yehovah to decree blessings for you and build you up. Seek to be an object for blessings. Proclaim in the name of Yehovah, we will obey Yehovah and his written Torah. Offer your life to Yehovah. Aim to live according to Yehovah's written instructions. Swear, as Yehovah lives, we will obey his written word. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can proclaim Yehovah and to live according to his written word. Bear one another's burdens. We can humble yourself and proclaim the written words of Yehovah. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end this Friday night Shabbat with the Arianic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, shalom.